Hello, I'm Martin Marstrand and I represent the Berlin Oracle. I am furious, I am sad, I'm lethargic, I am all the feelings at one time. And this is very normal for me, but it is a very special state and time we're living in. So yeah. Sometimes I just really want you to get how much energy it takes sometimes to talk about these things, because we humans do not talk about emotions. We talk only about them to our therapists if we're lucky, but to talk about our innermost is like the most important thing, and we just don't do it. Maybe we do, but it drives me crazy. I mean, I'm sitting in Berlin right now, and Germany has this very strong sense of feeling that we have to suppress emotions to survive. After the Second World War and separation, unification of East and West, I understand that it was very important to suppress emotions, but it will just continue to create the same experiences that we had that time here again, because the prevailing deep down themes have not been dealt with yet. So I don't know how long I'm going to have to yell this out there, but it's time to do our homework. It's time to sit down and really confront ourselves and give ourselves the permission to love ourselves, whatever comes up. I think feelings, emotions is probably the most difficult thing a human person has to encounter. If not, I think we would just be very good at it. I mean, I seldom meet people where I feel like this person has a very healthy way of dealing with emotions. Most people try not to feel, or if they feel just happy feelings, and if they don't feel happy feelings, they talk to somebody and then they get into a good feeling again, and then everything's fine, because then we can function. It's all about how can you function in this reality the best. It's not about how can you actually reach your core and be completely true to ourselves. No, we don't have time and money and whatever for that. So we just have to continue to create one crisis after the other to have time. So right now, you have time to meet yourself. You have time to feel, you have time to be with your loved ones and really do the most important things. So I'm sorry, but we have a lot of homework to do. I wish it was not like that. Sometimes I get a feeling it's better if I just don't say anything, because these things, to deal with these things, you need a lot of courage and a lot of strength and a rested body and mind to deal with these things. So I understand why most people just don't want to deal with emotions, because it's just too difficult, too painful, too intense. And as I said before, intensity is probably the thing that we need to build out the most. So I'm sorry if we're kind of yelling out you some like this. Just before going on camera, I just really did not want to go in front of camera. My girlfriend was saying, come, go, 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 go. And I had to build up a lot of energy to say this, because as an intuitive empath, I feel the energy field in which I am right now. So what I feel, I will now try to express through the wonderful Hoó Pono Pono prayer. And I hope that you can join in, because the most amazing thing with the Hoó Pono Pono prayer, the Hawaiian prayer of forgiveness, is basically that we take responsibility for our situation, for our society, for our family, for our greater family, for planet Earth, for humanity. And the moment we take responsibility, we realize that we are the creators. There's nobody out there creating except us. And of course, we all created together. But you understand what I mean? We are the creators in that moment. And then we have a lot of power. So that's what I've been experiencing a lot in the latest time. The more and more I can really allow myself to not push responsibility onto somebody else, the politicians, the king, the pastor, my parents, whoever who's to blame. No, me. Hear me. So today I was running and I was just so negative inside. I just felt like it's completely okay for humanity to have this crisis, because humanity has really been calling for it. I mean, for me, from my point of view, and please forgive me my language, but stupidity is the norm. Like, I'm sorry, but from my point of view, we have a lot of work to do. And of course, the best would be if we could able to live in a world where our infrastructure, our shops, our businesses are still working, and we have time to do this work as well. But of course, we're all victims and we have nothing to do with this, and God creates, not us. Let's really confront these nonsense thoughts that we've been given by religion and so forth for such a long time. We are the creators. There are other creators everywhere, yes, elsewhere, yes. But there are nobody else that are responsible for my life, your life, our life than us. And I know it's hard, because it's way easier to blame the government, blame God, blame my parents. It feels good to blame somebody else. At least they have to take responsibility because we pay our taxes. So they, the politicians, they are to do something about the climate crisis. They are the ones, not us. No, we are small and powerless. Our thoughts and emotions have no power whatsoever. Bullshit. It has all the power in this creational world that we can imagine. So yeah, I'm gonna try, although it's costing me a lot of energy right now, I'm gonna try to just give you an example of how it looks like to do Hoó Pono Pono. And please forgive me my anger tone. I would love to just talk to you in the most beautiful manner that you can take this message in by not feeling insulted or feeling like it's too harsh or whatever. I try my best, and I've been trying my entire life to keep it together so that people can actually understand what I'm saying. Because if I wouldn't keep it together, I would just yell at people and expect people to understand that I'm a mirror to them. But of course, in our civilized world, we don't do that. No, we suck it down. And it's just not gonna work anymore. I just really want you to understand that the shit is hitting the fan. I mean, it's coming up. It's the people that have done their homework are gonna have a quite easy time going through this, because we will know that we have to continue to do our cleaning work, to make it as easy as possible for ourselves and for everybody else. But for the masses that just are completely unaware that there is something like emotional, spiritual homework, it's gonna be tough. I really pray for them. It's gonna be really tough. So once again, I'm just gonna do my Hoó Pono Pono with the situation right now, with this feeling, whatever, and hopefully you can get something out of it. So for those of you that don't know, Hoó Pono Pono, it's a forgiveness prayer. It's a responsibility prayer. It's something that the Hawaiian society used. If somebody in their society did something bad to somebody else, they all took responsibility for it. They all realized that if something happens negatively in our society, we're all to blame. We are all responsible. And they did not project it on others. Ideally, at least that's how the tale goes. They projected it on themselves, and they managed to take that responsibility without hating themselves. And that is the trick. It's not about self-hatred. It's not about self-blame. It's about self-love. So much self-love that we can actually do this prayer. So yes, it is basically quite easy. We start with taking responsibility, saying, I'm sorry for the situation. I take responsibility for it. In Spanish, it's so beautiful. You say, lo siento. I feel it. When you're apologizing, you say, I feel whatever I've done to you. So, lo siento. Please forgive me. I ask for forgiveness. Thank you for this experience. Thank you for this possibility to heal it, to clean it, to be whole. I love you. We are one. You are free. I am free. Hoó Pono Pono. And that is basically this prayer. You can do it in whatever what comes first and back. It's not so important. Do what feels best for you. But I'm going to do it now, and hopefully you can step in. I'm so sorry for all the stupidity in this world. I'm so sorry that I've created this president in America. It's just a wonderful example of my own stupidity. I'm just so sorry that I'm so attached to ego. I'm so sorry that I love to blame others. I'm so sorry that it feels better to blame others than to blame myself. I'm so sorry. I take responsibility for all of this stupidity in the world, that we think that this virus has nothing to do with us, that it's coming from outside and we are victims of some outer force that we have no power over. I'm sorry. I take responsibility for that stupidity and I ask forgiveness. Thank you for this experience, that I finally can realize that nobody else is to blame than me. Like, I take responsibility. In Norway, it's so beautiful. Politicians, they're not perfect, they're just humans, but they have to take responsibility for things. It's very beautiful. They actually stand in the media and say, I'm sorry, I take responsibility for this crisis, I am to blame. They do that every week, and I'm not saying they're perfect, and then there are many things to correct there as well, but it's a good example of this. It's possible to take responsibility, to have responsibility, and to say that I am the responsible one for this crisis and so forth. So I take responsibility for this situation that we are in, for this crisis. I am so sorry that I and we humans have been unable to take in all of the emotional baggage that we have created throughout time. I'm so sorry that we've just projected it as the climate crisis as well, just projected it into the future, into the next generation. I'm so sorry for every time I said that somebody else is to blame. I'm so sorry for that. Please forgive me. Lo siento. I really take responsibility for that. Please forgive me. I forgive you. I forgive you, Trump. I forgive everyone who thinks like Trump. I forgive you all. I love you. Thank you so much for this experience. I love you. We are one. You are free. I am free. Hoó Pono Pono. And I'm just going to continue doing this because it feels like the only thing that makes sense right now. I am so sorry that we live in a society that has a school system that thinks its task is just to program the children with some basic programs so that they can be a beautiful functionary in some work that they don't like, just serving a system that doesn't serve them, just serving the big man with the big buck. I'm so sorry that I've created this kind of system. I really take responsibility for it. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Lo siento. I love you. And I take responsibility. And thank you for this experience. I love you. We are one. You are free. I am free. Hoó Pono Pono. I'm so sorry that we have a political system that only allows us to give our power away. Our whole system is based on electing somebody else that is supposed to take all the power from us and then use it in the best way for all of us. I'm so sorry that we live in a system where we all feel powerless. And the best way we can feel powerful is by demonstrating and saying to them in power, you have to change. I'm so sorry for this system. I'm so sorry that we all feel so powerless. I take responsibility for this powerlessness. I'm just so sorry. Please forgive me for this powerlessness, for this lethargy, for this feeling like I am not to blame, they are to blame. I'm so sorry for this whole consciousness of mankind. I'm so sorry that we fill ourselves with toxins and alcohol and sugar and whatever to just numb down the pain so that we don't have to take responsibility for our lives, because our body, our consciousness, this universe is constantly trying to mirror us with the creations that we do every day. So I'm so sorry that I and we don't have the capability yet to realize that we are being mirrored by the universe saying, do you want more of that? I'm so sorry. I take responsibility for that we believe we are separate from the creation. We're separate from each other. We're separate from Mother Earth. We can just exploit Mother Earth and exploit each other without exploiting ourselves. It's just, for my cosmic consciousness, when I exploit somebody else, I exploit myself. If I do harm to others, I do harm to myself. If I give somebody a painful experience, I want this painful experience myself. That is for me very, very clear. And of course, I'm not perfect in every situation, but that is very clear for me as a consciousness. So I'm very, very sorry that this is not clear for all of us. I'm very sorry that we feel so divided through languages, to religions, to belief systems, instead of focusing on what really brings us together. I'm so sorry for every situation, every conversation I've had where I've projected something on somebody else, instead of taking the responsibility myself and realizing that this person is mirroring something to me. I can be grateful for whatever it is that it's mirroring to me. And I realize that the whole world is a big mirror. I take responsibility for it. I'm so sorry that I've not been able to do that in every situation. I'm sorry. I take responsibility for the suffering on this planet. I'm sorry. We really love to suffer. I too love to suffer. I love to focus on the pain, on what is not yet perfect, instead of focusing on what I have, what to be grateful for. So I'm so sorry for that. Please forgive me. I forgive you. I forgive you. I'm grateful for this experience. I'm grateful to be able to put this into a video so that hopefully this consciousness can spread. Or if not, that in the future it might be spread. I don't know. But thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much that we can heal this together, that I can heal it myself, that we all can take more responsibility. Thank you so much for this experience. I love you. We are one. You are free to create yourself in a new way, in a whole way, to realize who you really are. I am free to realize who I really am. And I realize that we are one, that this lens, this illusion of separation, you there, me there, it doesn't exist, because I'm already inside of your heart and you're already inside of my heart. So thank you for this experience. And I love you, and we are one, and you are free, and I'm free, in Hoó Pono Pono. And I can go on like this. This is what I do all day long. Whenever I have time, this is what I do. So my prayer is that it gives you some meaning to just try that out. Because blaming others or saying that they are wrong or just mentalizing the whole life certainly hasn't gotten us to a very beautiful spot. So I think we have to try new measures. Like doing the same that we've done before obviously does not work. We have to reinvent ourselves, reinvent how we deal with emotions, thoughts, human beings, ourselves. We have to reinvent ourselves. So this is, after researching human consciousness for 40 years, this is the best thing I've encountered until now. And if you have something that works better for you, perfect. Wonderful. We will meet in the ether and share love there. But it's up to us. It's up to us. Hoó Pono Pono. And I'm going to do more of it. And thank you for being with me. My heart goes out to all of you. Let's be strong in this part, in this time. It is really all a great gift. I'm just so grateful for this coronavirus. It's just bringing us all to our home, to our knees, to our here and now, so that we finally can feel ourselves, be confronted with ourselves, be whole again. So my prayer goes out to the whole of humanity. I know I'm connected to you. Thank you that we can go through this reflecting and showing the best of ourselves. And if more crises come, thank you that we deal with them in love and in joy and in gratefulness. And with Hoó Pono Pono, perhaps. Peace and love to all of you. Hoó Pono Pono.